There, guys, back again. Another story. I wouldn't say story, but it's a very interesting, very interesting situation and experience. Um, People don't believe me sometimes when I tell them, but sure, if it needs to be proved, we can prove it. Not a problem. But yeah, this is about the time I found. Well, I was at the time when the escape tunnel was found. I was the guy that had to open the timber, pull the timber back from under the sink of the cell. So anyway, there's a little bit in it, a bit of explanation, but I'll do my best to make it to the point and not full of fluff like my last video. Okay, so I'm in D Division. I've got a really good billets job, the maintenance billet, which means I could pretty much go anywhere in the prison at any time. I had a pass written by the officers that said I could go from one division to the other, or I had been authorised to go to this division, because quite often we would paint something in one division, you know what I mean, welding a fence in another division. And we're running from D Division to A Division, B Division, F Division, K Division, which used to be JICA. There was also a J Division, which is spin out. But anyway, and I could go to all these divisions just with the same slip that I had. I didn't have to get a new slip and come up with a new reason all the time. So I had a lot of freedom, and I was making a lot of earns, running messages from one side of, because Pentridge was a big place. Like, it was massive. I don't know if anyone understands. I know of you old guys, I know you get it, but there was a big blue stone fence, all the way around Bell Street, Coburg, whatever. But inside that fence was like, I don't know, there was A Division, B Division, D Division. There had been a C Division, but that was closed by the time I got there. There was an E Division, and that was where the officers used as their office. There was F Division, which was F dorms, but by the time I got there, it was just we just used it as a day yard and stores, F stores. That's right. We got greens and stuff from there. So there was F. There was a G Division, which was a bit of a guys a little bit, suffering a bit more than most of us and need a little bit extra care. H Division. There was all these divisions, man. So anyway, one day I'm told by an officer there was 4 of us billets, maintenance billets. He woke us up in the morning and he would get us out of our cell, and we all had a Collins Street cell. And by that I mean Collins Street was the bottom floor of D Division, of one side. Look, it was a 3-tier division. The biggest one, it was like a castle, man. 3-tier bluestone brick building. And if you're on the bottom floor on a certain side, it meant you had, 1, you had a good job. 2, you had more freedom than other crims, like other guys. You could, do a bit of biz over here and there, run a few messages, throw a bit of ox to, you know what I mean? But so yeah, everyone, if you got a Collins Street cell, it was like, mate, I'm set. No one wanted to leave because D Division was like the map at that time. So it wasn't, no one was staying long term unless you had this Collins Street gig that I had. So anyway, my officer comes one morning and he wakes me up. He says, "Colin, some idiots have played up last night," and he's got the other 3 billets because there was 4 of us. And we went out. We had our own little workshop. And we went out there. And he said, something besides up on the 3rd tier. Up on the 3rd tier in the 4 out. I don't know what was wrong. I think they said they were pilled was the word I'd heard. Now, these guys were peeled off their face, and they had scratched a bluestone brick from one cell to the next so that they could get a match and some scratch to have a ciggy. But that's the story, okay? I don't know how true all that shit is, but I know they had done the fucking bluestone out of the wall because I was in the maintenance crew. It was our job to fix it. But what happened after that was the governor, security Governor, Security Officer Stillman, I think his name was, pretty sure, would have been the senior guy. Stillman? Anyway, he was the most scary one, that's why I remember him. Said, right, I want every cell opened and gone through. And in the cells, they had, I don't know if I'm going to explain it. Maybe I'll post a picture of a cell, make it easier to see. But in the cell, so if you walked in the door, it's just a room, and at the other end is like a little bench with a sink and a toilet, and that's it. That's the whack. And a bench for your kettle, whatever. But this this bench, would have been like 2 foot, and it was just made out of chipboard, plyboard stuff. And so anyway, the officers have got us four maintenance billets opening up every cell to look under these boards to make sure that no bricks had been touched and all that, which I found amusing because on the first top 2 floors, I don't understand if anyone got a brick out of that wall, it would just fall to the ground and they wouldn't be able to, you know what I mean? And they were too high up. But anyway, so we had to go through every cell. And I get to Collins Street cell, a certain cell directly opposite mine, and the same. And the officer gets me to open it. And when I opened up, like it was just a few tech screws. Bzz, 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 and then I had to pry it with a crowbar. And then the security officer made me stand back, get out of the way of it. And he's in there with the torch. And as soon as he should shine the torch, even I could see that there was no concrete in this brick, this whole big blue brick. And straight away the screws freaked out. He freaked out and buzzed up, and they had this buzzer. I don't know if they still have it, but he hit his buzzer and within a second, like there's 50 screws there. But he had the brick was out, but it was sitting there, but it had no concrete, no cement. Next to it was a bag, because in D Division you carried all your stuff in green bags, the same colour as your clothes, little green sports bags. And there was one of those green bags full of jail greens, like jumpers, tracksuit pants, etc. And the whole lot had been coloured in with black texture. So he coloured in the tracksuit pants, the jumper, the bag, the beanie, everything. So he camouflaged it for night. He also had a map that he had been making because he was getting out from under D Division to this bit that they called, it was what they called the race, and it went up to classification. But it was just like a drain underneath. And when he pulled the rock out, he could get in there and crawl out and get out. But then he was still inside the big original blue stone wall. And he had been making a map of the easiest way to get over the next wall, obviously. And he had planned, as I think from memory, it was something to do with he over at G Division, because G Division was for guys that were a little bit shell-shocked. That was only a 1-tier unit. Well, like it wasn't 2 stories, it was just 1 story high. So he could get onto the top of that somehow, and from there throw a blanket or just risk it with a razor wire or whatever and get out. And the guy whose cell this was, he was on remand for murder of a security guard. Now, a Brambles army guard security guard. As soon as I saw this thing, straight away I knew I had to answer some questions. And I know I had nothing to do with bringing it undone, and as I'm telling you the story as I'm telling it to you, I'm sure you can tell I had nothing. I didn't know. I was happy to be opening a few doors, a few walls, and finding the odd bong or a little bit of chuff, or you know what I mean, or a fit or something that I could sell, something stupid like that. You know what I mean? But when I saw that, straight away I felt, oh no, this poor guy. And then I found out that he was looking at doing what he was in there for. And then there was a big investigation, and straight away that guy from that unit, I'm not going to say his name, I'm pretty sure he's passed away now, and if he has, all the best to you, bro. But yeah, he was he was one of the last real hardcore, old school bank robber type guys. You know what I mean? Like, army guard robbers and whatnot. Yeah, they had been on the run for over 20 years. Anyway, I'm getting off the subject. So I find this thing. I see that the brick's out. The screw shits himself. I shit myself, and then boom, the whole jail's locked down. That's it, because we only had about 5 or 6 more cells to check. As soon as I saw that brick, that was it. Shut down, locked down. But once we all got locked down, about 10, 15 minutes later, my cell door and the other maintenance billets, the 4 of us, like maintenance worker guys, we all got let out to go around and check every other cell again with a screw and then put it back together and paint it. So we had to work for the next week. But, yeah, man, and then there was a massive investigation and they were calling guys from other jails back that had been in that cell because obviously the guy said, I don't know, it's not mine. So, and because the Indo division was like the map, it's a quick turnover. They called the old billet that had been in there. I think Mark, his name was. He called him back from Loddon or wherever he was. And, mate, it threw a cat amongst the pigeons, I tell you. But, yeah, man, and it was a legit escape tunnel. He was gone. That guy, he would have been gone probably the next day. Had he known the heat was on, he could have gone the night before. But just for the fact that some clowns got killed and scratched all the concrete out from between 2 bricks to get a match for their cigarette. I mean, the guy I'm talking about who got pinched for the escape was already on remand for a murder of a security armor guard in a suburban area. You know what I mean? So he was a serious guy. So, I don't know what if or anything, but I know the poor guy ended up going down on the thing, on that armor guard thing, and I'm pretty sure he's no longer with us. But he was one of the last old school ones that I'd ever known anyway. I'm no great. I don't know anyone, but I knew him, and yeah, man, that's the closest I've ever seen. And it spun me out. Like, we lift off the board, and there's a tunnel to the outside, man. It was a beauty. So, but anyway, that's my story about finding the tunnel. I left a lot of details out, people's names, because I'm new to this and I don't want to upset anybody. And I'd rather just talk about stuff that I know to be true, and not speculate on what I've heard on Underbelly or Channel 10 or whatever. The guy that they got playing Carl Williams is nothing like Carl. So I don't want to be. I just want to tell the truth, and that's it. And I'm not here to make any money. I'm not here to do anything. Just I'm bored and I'm watching YouTube, and the guys that are talking about this stuff don't seem to know what they're talking about, or they're just filling in the blanks with artistic license, So, sort of just have a crack. I mean, I was there, so I can tell you the truth. But anyway, guys, I will leave it at that. That was a long one, 13, 14 minutes. Don't get sick of listening to me. I'll get better at it. Ask me some questions and I'll answer, whatever. But I'll come on again for the next couple of weeks each day with a different story similar to this one. Some are better, some are different, some are hectic, some are out of control. So some are just pure crazy. But I'm sure you guys will find them interesting. I mean, I know watching Chaos Chronicles and Spanian and those guys, I find it interesting. Whether I agree with every detail or whatever, big deal. I still like to watch it. So, go on, you guys, keep doing some good work. But if I hear something being spoken about that I think's not, legit, I'm going to say something. But not with any malice or anything like that, just to clear it up. We're getting the truth out there, aren't we? We're all moving on. So let's do that, guys, and I'll speak to you again soon. Thanks.